The grinding whir of Adam's plasma welder echoed through the cramped maintenance bay of Frontier Station Epsilon 7, a forgotten outpost on the rim of human space. At 24, he had already spent 6 years keeping the aging station's life support systems functioning, with salvaged parts and sheer determination. The pay was meager, barely enough for basic rations, but someone had to keep the lights on for the handful of traders and refugees who passed through this desolate corner of the galaxy. The chronometer displayed 23:47 when Adam heard the desperate pounding on the maintenance bay's outer door. He wiped grease from his hands and activated the external viewer. Through the static-filled display, he could make out a small figure huddled against the door, trembling in the station's artificial atmosphere. Adam quickly cycled through the airlock and found himself face to face with what appeared to be a young alien girl, no more than 16 by human standards. Her skin had a pale blue luminescence and her large violet eyes were filled with tears. Most striking were the delicate crystalline formations that grew like small horns from her temples, clearly marking her as one of the Zephyrian people. "Please," she whispered in accented standard, clutching a damaged translation device. "My ship. It crashed in the asteroid field. I managed to reach your station, but my life support is failing." Adam didn't hesitate. "Come on, let's get you inside." He guided the girl, who introduced herself as Kinza, into the warm maintenance bay. Her breathing was labored, and the crystalline formations on her temples had dimmed significantly, indicating severe distress in her species. "I don't have much money," Kinza said weakly, pulling out a small pouch of credits. "My family. We lost everything when our homeworld was attacked by pirates. This is all I have left." Adam pushed the credits away gently. "Keep your money. Let me see what's wrong with your life support." For the next 3 hours, Adam worked tirelessly on Kinza's damaged environmental suit. The technology was far more advanced than anything he'd encountered, but his years of improvisation served him well. He jury-rigged a compatible power cell from station components and recalibrated the atmospheric processors, using techniques he'd learned from a Martian engineer years ago. "Why are you helping me?" Kinza asked as Adam made the final adjustments. "Your people and mine. We've had conflicts." Adam looked up from his work. "Maybe our governments have problems, but you're just a kid who needs help. That's all that matters to me." As dawn broke over the station's artificial day cycle, Adam had successfully repaired Kinza's life support system. The crystalline formations on her temples glowed brightly once again, and her breathing had normalized. "I can never repay this kindness," Kinza said, her violet eyes shimmering with gratitude. "But I promise someday I will find a way." Adam smiled tiredly. "Just stay safe out there. That's payment enough." Kinza departed on a passing merchant vessel, leaving Adam to return to his routine maintenance duties. He thought little of the encounter over the next 24 hours, focused instead on repairing a malfunctioning water recycler and updating the station's navigation beacon. The next evening, Adam was startled by the arrival of a massive Zephyrian dreadnought, easily 10 times the size of the station itself. The ship's hull bore the distinctive markings of the Zephyrian royal fleet, and its weapon systems powered down in a gesture of peaceful intent. Station Commander Rodriguez's voice crackled over the intercom. "Maintenance Chief Torres, please report to Docking Bay 1 immediately. We have distinguished visitors." Adam found himself standing before an imposing delegation of Zephyrian officials, their crystalline formations gleaming with authority. At their head stood a tall, regal woman whose resemblance to Kinza was unmistakable, the same violet eyes, the same delicate features, but bearing the unmistakable aura of absolute power. "You are Adam Torres?" the woman asked, her standard perfect and commanding. "Yes, ma'am," Adam replied, suddenly aware of his oil-stained coveralls. The woman stepped forward, and every human and alien in the docking bay bowed deeply. "I am Empress Zalara of the Zephyrian Dominion. Yesterday you saved the life of my daughter, Princess Kinza." Adam's eyes widened. The girl he'd helped was royalty, and not just any royalty, but the daughter of the most powerful leader in 3 sectors of space. "Your Majesty," Commander Rodriguez began nervously, "we had no idea." Empress Zalara raised a hand for silence. "My daughter told me everything. How this young man refused payment and worked through the night to save her life, showing the kind of compassion that has become rare in our galaxy." She turned back to Adam. "The Zephyrian Dominion has been at odds with humanity for decades. We believed your species to be driven purely by greed and self-interest, but your actions have shown me something different." The Empress gestured, and an aide stepped forward with an ornate datapad. "I am hereby establishing a new trade agreement between our peoples, with Frontier Station Epsilon 7 as the primary hub. This station will receive full diplomatic protection and unlimited funding for upgrades and expansion." Adam stared in disbelief. "Your Majesty, I was just doing what anyone should do." "Exactly," the Empress smiled. The first time a Zephyrian ruler had smiled at a human in living memory. "You treated my daughter not as an alien or an enemy, but simply as someone who needed help. Perhaps there is hope for our species to coexist after all." She placed a hand on Adam's shoulder. "The galaxy needs more people like you, Adam Torres. Your kindness to one lost girl may have just prevented a war." As the Empress and her delegation departed, Adam stood in the transformed docking bay, watching construction crews already arriving to begin the station's expansion. He thought about Kinza's words the night before, how she'd promised to repay his kindness someday. He never could have imagined that a simple act of compassion at midnight would change the course of interstellar relations. But then again, that's what humans did best. They helped others, not for reward or recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. And sometimes the galaxy noticed.